You guys ready for another top 5? I am. Let's do this. Welcome to something new. Why do I have this board? Well, this board is going to be my interpreter. It's going to be the thing that keeps me on task through this entire video. It's even got my name on there, guys. I worked hard on this. With this pen, I shall show you the ways of the Force. Just kidding. I did see The Last Jedi and it was awesome. Anyway, I'm going to show you the top 5 things that I've got going on right in here. I almost marked my head. 1. A new video series. This is going to just start it all. Get me back here, get me back into talking to the camera, talking to you guys. That is, what do you mean weight loss? Well, that is goal number 1. Goal number 1 is to lose some damn weight. You know why? Because I want to feel better, I want to live longer, and I want to be healthy. I mean, it would be great to look good, but at the same time, that's not what it's about anymore. Every time I've tried to lose weight, it's always been about figure. It's always been about this. It's never been about this. It's a heart, guys. That's what that is. Okay, anyway. So instead of thinking about what's in here and what's going to keep me going, I've been thinking about this, and I think that's what's keeping me down. So that's going to lead me to point number 2. Oh, that's hard to write. But that number 2 is accountability. How do I keep myself accountable? Well, we're going to form a group. And my best friend, Jeff Hans, Mr. Moo, link down in the description below, he came up with this really off-shot name for us called... Now, he didn't say that condescendingly. This reads the Beastly Boys. And that's basically hey, we're kind of husky, right? It kind of was motivating. He was like, yeah, the Beastly Boys. He just said it to one off, and I'm like, I'm going to steal this. Immediately created a group so that way we can be accountable for our actions. Who is in this group, you might ask? Well, you've got me. You've got my friend Mike, who I work with, and the guy that I made a video with. His name is Lord Maze. You may have met him. You might not have. But with Mason and Mike and myself, we're going to create a trifecta of accountability. And that's going to lead right into number 3. Number 3, don't diet. Now, how the hell can you lose weight if you don't diet? And here's why. Here's why you can lose weight when you don't diet. Change your lifestyle. Don't diet, change your lifestyle. That's what we're going to go for. We're not going to try to pick Weight Watchers or Atkins or something like that. We're going to actually do it right. We're going to, actually change the way we eat and change the way we think about food. Because if you don't, how are you going to continue to do that after you lose the weight? Isn't that how people feel and fail? Because that's how I did. Let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, I moved to Myrtle Beach. 6 months before that, I lost 50 pounds in 3 months. But you know what happened? I went from this, I know it's a fucking snowman, but I went from this to this in 2 years. So I gained all that weight back, but it didn't really 100% change my lifestyle back to what I was doing. But eventually I did after 2 years. But I still gained the weight back really fast. Why? Because I was on such a strict diet that I lost the weight and gained it back, and almost gained back more. Thankfully I didn't. A lot of people do, so that's why we're not doing that. And that leads us to number 4. I mean, you can't lose weight without moving. It's really hard for me to admit this, but I've been sitting on my ass, and I think we all have. People like you and me, or like this, have been not doing this. If you can do this, you could change. So hopefully you guys can come with me and say, I need to fucking do this. Oh, I'm erasing it for number 5. That's what I'm doing. So number 5, what can you do after you do all that? Well, how about this? Something I'm learning every day, not just with this, but also with this and myself. And this, making films, doing that. I have some cool stuff coming up, watch. Number 5, let's see if I can get this in there more. Fucking see, the more weight I lose, the more camera space I got, dude. Come on. Learn from failure. Had to put the pen down because holy shit, that is the hardest one right here. That's the easiest lesson and the hardest lesson to learn. Because you can't succeed ever, really, unless you fail. And I've learned a lot of that from my best friend. I've also learned a lot of that from my fiance. You can't progress without failing. Because there's nothing to progress further to. You can't continue to build who you are off of being perfect. If you're already perfect, what are you doing with your life? What is life anymore? Except for learning, and you can't learn unless you fail, because if you got everything, then you were just ready to just... And now, we've got a clean slate. And this represents the beginning. And it represents a restart. So hopefully you stick with me. Hopefully I can link you to some stuff later, because we are going to create a new YouTube channel with these vlogs, and you're going to see some progress, hopefully. And if you don't, then hold me accountable, because that is number 1, right? Thank you for listening, and I really hope we can connect and open the conversation for this thing that is life. Mostly, it's going to be about lifestyle changes and holding ourselves accountable, but you can talk to me about anything. Dex Bishop signing off. Have a great week, and I'll check in on you on Monday.